Question: how do you avoid illegal content, for example, child pornography being uploaded to the Cardano blockchain? You don't. What you do is you create pruning mechanisms where people don't have to download the full state of the system, but rather authentication points for that. This is actually a question that came up Bitcoin years and years ago, over 10 years ago. It was one of the very first questions tendered on Bitcoin Talk to Satoshi Nakamoto himself. My belief in the solution for this type of content is to say, okay, you can't get rid of history. Things happened, but you don't have to be complicit in the propagation of history. So what you do is you take the offending items and you replace those offending items with a hash. So people know that's there, but a hash isn't the content. It's just keeping the integrity of the system. And you allow people to self-censor in that respect. Everybody has different values. They have different laws. They have different religions they come from, or lack thereof. And because of those different viewpoints, things that are offensive to one group of people may not necessarily be offensive to another group of people. Although I would argue in the case of child porn, that's ubiquitously offensive to all of society. It should, of course, be banned, as other things like probably necrophilia and so forth. But it should not be forced upon you to propagate and relay these things. So we're not in a position where that's common to happen in our system, but somewhere in the long arc of the system, it will happen. And what we're probably going to do is design a protocol specifically for pruning, and that will be one of the use cases of it. So there is offensive pruning, and then there's also optimization and economic pruning. And so these are kind of your three categories. You want to censor something or remove something because it's problematic to a group or to all of society. You want to prune something because the cost of carrying that thing is too great, or you want to prune something because it's no longer in use in the system. It's like a dead coin or something like that. So it would be problematic to just implement a haphazard way of doing this. As a young system, you don't have this problem. As a system like Ethereum or Bitcoin, they do. And you need to have some scheme for it. So I will talk to Agalos to make a research priority in 2021, and we will develop something, and then it can basically be built into the client. And so you can, in your copy of Daedalus or as a stake pool operator, identify things that you don't feel comfortable with, and then replace those things with some sort of representation of them, but not actually be involved in the propagation and relay. And because it's a decentralized distributed choice, people basically get to do that.